Light on.
Okay.
Okay,
good morning, everybody. It's a very beautiful morning down here in Devon, and I am really, really grateful to be joined by the gorgeous Shanti Faiia, who's going to lead us in some breath work. I'm Hannah Pearson, and my absolute joy is to support people who are passionate about positive contribution. And so if you are looking to increase the internal peace in your life so that you can share that with the world, then you're in the right place and you're very welcome. And if you're listening to this as a replay, do make sure that you have the space to sit with it, to turn your phone off, just allow yourself the time to engage with the practices so that you can get maximum benefit. And as always, we love to hear from you. Any reflections on the practices, any comments, all very welcome. Just send me a message. Okay, so we're going to begin. The intention of these meetings is, as I said, to increase our inner peace so that we can experience joy and live in the way that we want to, and also so that we can increase the peace in the world generally. There's an awful lot of there's also an awful lot in the world that's happening that's causing people distress. People fighting, in a big scale and in a small scale. And what we can do personally is to really take responsibility for what's happening within ourselves and within our world, so that we're in a position to be able to contribute on a bigger scale when we're able to, and how we're able to, and really in line with our own personal gifts. And when it's done in that way, then there's an abundance of energy and pleasure in contribution. And then that just creates more wellness and more joy and more benefit for everybody. So yeah, that's where we are. So we're going to take a little time before we move into the practices today. We're just going to take a little time to drop into center. So make sure you're comfortable, make sure you're warm enough. And we're just going to start by taking some nice deep breaths. So counting for 6 as you breathe in through your nose, and breathing all the way down into your pelvis. And then counting for 6 as you breathe out. And just gently continuing with this breathing. You're noticing anything arising in you, any anxiety about life, about things happening in the world. Just imagine that you have a big old oak tree next to you, and just go and put it down next to the oak tree. Give yourself the gift of really taking this space so that you can be in the best possible shape to contribute positively, both in your immediate circle and in the wider sense. And for those of you that have worked with me, connecting in with your figure of 8, and if that's not familiar, just begin by moving your hips in a figure of 8 shape, as though the movement is around one leg and then around the other leg. It might feel a little strange or clunky to begin with. Keep giving your feet a little wiggle. Make sure your legs and feet are attached. Bringing your attention to the inner figure of 8. So allowing that figure of 8 movement to come into the bowl of your pelvis and be a movement of energy within your pelvic bowl. On the out breath, is a nice big sigh. Allowing the sigh to come all the way up from your belly. So breathing in, energizing that movement of energy, the figure of 8. Breathing out, letting go. Breathing in. Energizing your figure of 8. Breathing out, letting go. Nice, slow, deep breaths. Filling up your belly and then your lungs. Keeping your shoulders nice and soft. And just checking in with your legs and feet. Making sure they still feel attached. Breathing in, energizing that figure of 8. Noticing its gentle flow and ease. It gets brighter and stronger with every breath. Breathing out, letting go. Ah. 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 And just beginning to gently tune into your central axis. So the central line between the bowl of your pelvis moves all the way up through the center of your body, up to your diaphragm, up to your heart, up to your throat, and up to your head. Breathing in, drawing that attention, intention, and energy down, oxygenating your body, energizing that figure of 8. Breathing out, letting go. Beginning to feel the energy increase in your figure of 8, in your central axis. With each in-breath, that's getting stronger and brighter. So beginning to feel that energy fill the bowl of your pelvis till it starts to bubble over starts to overflow into your sacrum, into your lower back, into your hips, like this gorgeous bubbling well of energy and vitality. Breathing in, drawing in the energy. Allowing your attention to be with this vitality. It's so powerful to really choose our focus. And there's always this opportunity to continue to choose where we put our focus. So the invitation right now is to allow your focus to be on this vitality. Whatever else is happening in your life, whatever else your experience of being a human being right now is, there's still vitality. There's still an absolute abundance of support and love in your body right now, in every cell. Breathing in, energizing that gentle movement of energy in your figure of 8. Breathing out, letting go of your tongue, softening your jaw. Breathing in, feeling that connection all the way through your central axis. With each in-breath, feeling this energy grow and begin to spread through your body. So feeling it really occupy the space in your lower back and your hips. Noticing all the tiny cells, imagining the cells and the spaces in between the cells, and drawing this vitality into the cells, allowing them to just quicken a little, to regulate themselves with this energy. Feeling this vibration spread through your whole body, drawing it into your organs, your spine. Letting go. allowing yourself to feel the support of the earth below you. Allowing yourself just to rest into that support of the earth. So lean back into it. And to allow that earth energy to come up into your body. Really connecting with the air as you breathe in. And the support and vitality of the air as it meets your body, interacts with your body, becomes part of your body. Feeling your connection to the water in your body, in the air, in the rivers, in the sea. Allowing yourself to be nourished by that connection. Allowing the water in your body to communicate with itself and with the water of the land. There's been so much conditioning of being separate, being independent. And there's also an opportunity to receive this support that's just innately there. And often when we're trying so hard to make things happen in the world, when we're working hard, when we're holding ourselves very strongly, we forget to let all these other aspects hold us too. So this is an invitation to rest into that holding, to allow that support and that universal life energy to flood through your body, be nourishing you. Just gently allowing your focus to come to what else in your life supports you. What I've noticed from my many years of working with people is that I tend to work with empaths, and empaths tend to have a little bit of a cultural habit of giving to the point where they're no longer really allowing themselves to be nourished and supported. So there's an invitation right now to use this attention in your body, to use your thought process around this, to make choice around allowing this nourishment. The empaths are here on a mission, it seems. And sometimes that mission gets out of balance. And we forget that we're also here to evolve our own beings, to experience pleasure, simple pleasure of just being. And there's so much beautiful contribution in that. So how much presence can you invite into your body right now, into yourself? How present can you be with this moment? Really occupying your physical space. Noticing the energetic space around you. And the gentle, clear, energetic boundary around that. So we can be boundaried and abundantly supported. From this innate energy that is just here, doesn't ever go anywhere. So just gently inquiring as to what the other things in your life are that support you and allow you to be your full self. And just noticing what those things are. There's the physical aspects that support us. So really paying attention to sleeping well, eating well, water, exercise, movement, play, creative aspects. And as I mention these, just add your own and just do a little check-in, like, how is the balance of this in my life? So we're moving away from, do I have this? Because, yeah, it's about the point of balance. So how do you nourish yourself creatively? What space do you allow in your life for dreaming? Do you take time just to sit and watch the rain or watch the trees and allow yourself to be in a no thinking space? How would that big meeting feel if you'd taken 10 minutes beforehand to lie on the ground, to stretch your back in the way it likes to be stretched? How much more present could you be with the people that you're serving and with yourself, with the projects you're serving? How do you support yourself with connection with others? What supports you? Some people might be really supported by lots of connection with lots of people. And other people, what works for them is connecting with friends in a smaller way. Do you have the time that you need for yourself in your life? Now that's a big question. A lot of time people hear that and they think, I can't find that time. That time's not there because there's so much pressure around it. But start just by taking 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes. One minute taken through the day, you'll experience your day very differently. What else supports you? Your breath. Being in nature. Creating. You can add your own gardening, planting things, add your own to the list. So there's an opportunity now to just do a little, as it's spring and everything is growing. I want to invite you to really engage with this sense of growth in yourself, imagining that you're in the most beautiful garden you can imagine, and you're a little seed under the ground. And you're tucked into this lovely, nurturing, warm bed of earth, of soil. Might be little creatures. And it's dark and cool. And you've been resting all winter. Well, what kind of seed are you? What's been resting in you? What's the potency that's been dormant there? Waiting to burst forth in the spring. And this beautifully kind of follows this theme of how do we support ourselves, because this seed, let's say it's a kidney bean in the ground. It has a genetic programming of what it's going to grow into, what it should do. But if it were to hold itself tight under the ground, it would just stay there and eventually get eaten by a mouse, probably. But if it allows, when it feels the warmth of the sun, if it allows that in and softens to it and begins to yield to it, if it receives the water from the rain and then the nurturing of the soil around it, then it begins to sprout. And it doesn't at any point say, oh, did I deserve that? Actually, sun, can you just move away a little bit? Because I don't think I'm quite ready. I've got to do a little bit more work on myself first. So imagining yourself as this seed and feeling the warmth of the sun as the soil gets warmer, and allowing yourself to begin to stretch. And you can actually stretch your body as this little seed. Send your shoot down into the ground. Feel that the way that your roots curl around the soil, creating stability. And that's what all the plants have been doing. They've been working on the underside. They've been building their roots in this early spring. Or here in the UK, it's early spring. And as the earth warms, imagine you're sending a little shoot, tentatively exploring what might be above the ground. You're not really thinking, as this plant, you're not really thinking, what will I look like? What will I do? What would I be? You're just allowing that natural growth, that the wisdom of your being. Culturally, we're not encouraged to hang out in that wisdom of being. We're encouraged to hang out in the mind, and the mind has incredible value, but we also need to bring this into balance. So just allowing you as a seed to completely rely for these few moments on that wisdom of being to grow. Noticing the birds singing. I heard the first cuckoo of the year a couple of days ago. Noticing the birds in the garden. Feeling the other plants growing. What's the quality of the energy you've been cultivating? That now with this support, with this allowing, you can bring into the world. Allowing yourself to curl up and also allowing your root to deepen. And as this is a red kidney bean, it's going to grow beans. And the plant doesn't think, these are my beans, what am I going to do with them? It just drops them. Because that's the joy of creating. It just gives. And when it does that, there's more. And as human beings, when we give in that way, then yeah, we can also receive. More comes to us. Or the love that is already there is highlighted for us, within us, and without us. So what are the qualities that you're bringing into this spring and summer? What are you growing? Physically, what are you growing? What's happening in your physical health, in your body? What choice would you like to make about the kind of plant that you're growing? And how can you attend to that? What does your body need in order to manifest that physicality? Can you allow yourself to manifest like really vibrant health, to be really healthy and strong? Do you deserve that? Or is that just the mind looking for something to do, making stories, dropping into the attention of your lower back and your figure of 8, and feeling that support of the earth, feeling that energetic vitality in your body. Just allowing yourself to receive a little deeper, a little more deeply, receiving. And how about energetically and spiritually? Where is your focus of attention? What are you manifesting? What are you growing? Remembering that wherever you put your energy, wherever you put your focus, that's what will grow. Taking a little weather forecast of your emotions in your body. What emotion is there when you tune into your heart, when you tune into your belly? And if it's helpful, just put a hand on your body. What happens if you really give space to allow the feeling, allow the emotion just simply to move through and create space for more being? And whatever emotion you're noticing, just allow yourself to give it permission. What happens if you just give it permission? You soften and open your body to it. And you allow it to move through. Get to reclaim the space that that emotion took up in your body. Oh, more joy. When we really take responsibility personally, I believe that we can make a huge impact on a bigger scale. In the collective field, when we have millions of people holding tight onto their emotion, holding tight onto keeping themselves safe in the fight or flight mode, there's this tightening and this disconnect from the innate support structures and from the simple joy of being alive. And yes, there are times when that fight or flight instinct is helpful, but then we need to let it go again. If there's a bus coming towards you and you're in the middle of the street, what you want is your survival brain to get you out of the way as quickly as possible. When you're in communication with your partner and your brain thinks you're about to be run over by a bus because of whatever they're saying, that's when we need to change our response. That's when we need to become more available. If it's a situation that feels healthy. There's an opportunity to go deeper. By learning how to navigate the survival response and bring ourselves back to center. So just gently experimenting with that, feeling the difference between the survival brain stopping you being run over by a bus and dropping down into this figure of 8, this central axis, and the innate support that's there. So noticing now that you are this beautiful plant in your garden. feeling the sun on your leaves, drinking from the rain, and nourishment coming up through your roots. Noticing the interaction with all the other creatures and plants. And what do you notice? Oh, maybe it's enough. Maybe there's nothing to do. And as this plant, what's your contribution? Just from your joy, you're going to plant these seeds. You're gifting this food, but there's no effort involved. You're gifting this beauty for all the beings that come across you, that look to you. You're contributing your energetic presence. So what is it for you as a human plant? What's your effortless contribution of joy? Where is the flow in your life where you can contribute in such a profound way without efforting? Efforting being different from, we can be very dynamic, very engaged, and actually do a lot from a place of being energized and passionate and balanced. Or we can be in effort and push and have to. If you just allow yourself to be already enough, what might you create from your pure joy? And what might that look like as it becomes full in the summer? So I'd love to hear from you. Let me know what that exercise brought up for you, what your effortless flow of creation is in this beautiful spring. And how is it for you to really rest into that innate support that's there? So we're going to move on to the breathwork exercise now with Shanti. Shanti is just the most incredible woman. I'm just, I'm so grateful that she's in the world and that our paths have crossed. Incredible woman. And a real kind of kin for me, in that Shanti has a real passion for supporting people to feel more free and whole. And I love that. So Shanti has a wonderful weekly group of classes I'm sure she'll tell us more about it. Breathwork, yoga, and there's something that I find extremely valuable, and yeah, to have, I hear from clients all the time how helpful it is to have something consistent that's easy to access and that really supports continuous practice. So yeah, Shanti, I feel like what you're bringing is really valuable and needed, and I can't wait to experience a little bit of your breath work today. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Hannah. That was a really beautiful introduction that made me a little emotional. Thank you so much for this practice that you've just guided us in. It was really beautiful. And I'm so happy to be here. I'm so honored to be here. I am Shanti Faiia, as Hannah mentioned earlier, and I really love helping people become more joyful and free and peaceful in their lives and in their experience of themselves. Hannah mentioned that I teach some classes, some weekly classes, and I do this as part of my embodied spirit community. I teach yoga the first Thursday of every month to help people get more into their bodies and connect to a practice that's more physical. And then meditation the second Thursday of every month. So more mind and clarity. And then the third Thursday, I always have a breathwork class. And today, I'm really, really happy to be sharing this type of breathwork that I teach with you. It's an active breath meditation, effectively, where we're bringing a little bit more oxygen into the body. There are lots and lots of different types of active breathworks out there, and you may have come across some, including in these lovely meditations that Hannah's been leading recently, where the Wim Hof technique has been introduced. This particular breathwork that I teach is very similar in some senses. It's an active breath in and out of the mouth. And you are taking a full breath into the belly and then a full breath into the chest, and then just letting it all go. But the lineage of it, or the intention behind it, is a little bit different to active breathwork such as Wim Hof or transformational breathwork or holotropic breathwork, some of these other active styles. And this one is just called Breathwork Healing, and it was created in this particular way by a man called David Elliott, who's based in California. And the intention behind it is really to connect with this universal exchange of love. So it's breathing in and receiving that universal love, that support, that essence of being and support that's available, breathing that in and then letting go of anything that is blocking you from receiving that. So I really love it because of that intention. It sort of feels more right to me as a technique, to have that kind of intention. And for me, I really find that it's a technique that allows you to connect more with yourself and what's present with you in any given moment. So every time I breathe, or any time I'm with others who I'm guiding through the breath, it's a completely different experience. There may be similar elements, but there's always something different that comes up. So the invitation is always to meet what's there, and to allow it. I will go into the technique for a moment, and then have you all lay down if you have space to do that. You can do this breathwork sitting up, but allowing a straighter spine and kind of thorax. We don't have thoraxes as humans, but if we were, um, to have that kind of open channel in the chest and lungs. Um, the breath will have an active element for maybe about 10 minutes or so, maybe up to 12. And then we'll have a little bit of a shavasana if you're lying down. And if you're not lying down, it'll be just sort of sitting in a meditation type practice. So before you lie down, I'll just show you the technique. And as I said, it's in and out of the mouth. I don't know if Zoom will cut out the sound of my breath. Sometimes it cuts that out, but hopefully you can hear me. And what I like to say about it is also it's not a taking of the breath, it's more a receiving of the breath. So the difference is if you're taking a breath, maybe you might sip as in through a straw. You're really kind of engaging the muscles of your mouth and you're taking that breath. But a receiving of the breath looks and feels a little bit more like relaxing your jaw, really settling into your body, maybe relaxing your tongue and just allowing the breath to come in. So you're receiving the breath first into your belly, then into your chest, and then just letting it go like a wave comes out and washes back from the shore. So the way it looks, I'll just move my camera so you can see my belly, is you're really filling your belly with breath. So you might see my belly coming out, and then your chest, and then relaxing it out. So it's in, in, belly, chest, exhale. And that just carries on. It's all you have to do is just carry on with that simple practice. The first 5 minutes of this breath can be where any resistance shows up. And for me, resistance can be starting to cough or get a scratchy throat or want to kind of fidget a little bit, or sort of mind getting loud and saying, oh, I don't want to be here. What's the point of this? But just keep breathing through it. All of that will relax and the body will start to breathe you a little bit more as you continue. And there may be energy that you feel moving through your body, tingling sensations. Just go with it. Lots of different sensations can show up that might be unfamiliar to you. Don't worry, they're passing, they're fleeting, they will go. And I really invite you as you're breathing to be with any emotions or sensations that come up and just keep with the breath, and allow the breath to move those things through and out. This kind of aspect of letting go. I sometimes do this breath work in silence, but today it really feels like it would be fun to play some music, which I also do in my group classes. So I'm going to be sharing the sound from my computer. It may be, depending on the type of speaker you have in your computer or your phone, whatever you're listening to this on. If you're listening to the replay as well, you might want to pause and maybe grab some headphones, or if you have headphones to hand, just maybe use those because the sound quality will be a little bit better. And I think that's about it. I don't want to say too much more, but just let you have the experience. So if you do have a spot to lie down, and if you have a blanket to hand, just grab the blanket, make yourself nice and cozy and comfortable on the floor. And I'm just going to share the screen. And if you're sitting up, share the audio, sorry. And if you're sitting up, just Really allow that, um, that physical support that we were just in practice with, sort of dropping down into your figure of eight and really allowing your body to be soft, both if you're lying down or sitting up, giving yourself a little bit of a stretch, a yawn, taking a deep breath in through your nose, all the way down to your belly, and letting it fall out, relaxing your jaw, sighing it out. Allowing your body, your shoulders to relax and muscles, bones to become a little bit heavier. Widening your gaze behind closed eyes. So really engaging your peripheral vision, almost as if you can see 360 degrees around the room that you're in. Softening your forehead, allowing that space between your ear and your jaw, just at the back of your jaw, to soften, widen, open. Imagining that you can soften and widen your inner ear, so that kind of that spiral that is the shape of the inner ear, to soften and open. And then taking another deep breath, just allowing anything else you might be gripping or holding on to let go, to float off, and becoming really present to the feel and sensation of your breath coming in and out of your body. And then relaxing your jaw, allowing your mouth to open slightly, and starting this active breath. Belly, then chest, then exhale. So, belly, chest, exhale. Belly, chest, exhale. Belly, chest, exhale.
Your breath.
Allowing yourself to take maybe 10% more air into your belly, 10% more into your chest, continuing to soften and widen. Maybe giving yourself a little jiggle, wiggling your toes, your fingers, and allowing any sensation or emotion, and allowing the emotion or sensation that the music prompts to just arise and let go with your breath.
Only take away your peace today. Worry will not take away your pain, your sorrow. Bring it back to the breath and it can all melt away. How in the world does it change? How in the world does it change? The answer always seems to be the same. The answer always seems to be the same. Don't hold your breath. Let it out. Don't hold your breath. Don't hold your breath. Don't hold your breath. Don't hold your breath.
Continue to invite a fullness of breath and a letting go. Staying with the active breath. Belly, chest, exhale.
My soul cries out for me to listen. Listen deeply, she says. You are meant for better things. I know you don't think that you are ready, but you are ready. Yes, you are ready. And then I hear her say, just let go. It's all right now, just let go. You'll be all right now, just let go. It's all right now, just let go. You'll be all right now.
Maybe taking a couple of deeper breaths, and on the exhale, allowing any sound to come. Allowing the energy to move with sound, with a little bit of movement, moving your toes, your fingers, softening even further, and then coming back to the active breath. Belly, chest, exhale.
Listen deeply, she says. You are meant for better things. I know you don't think that you are ready, but you are ready. Yes, you are ready. So just let go. It's all right now, just let go. You'll be all right now, just let go. It's all right now, just let go. You'll be all right now. 'cause you'll never be more ready than you are in this moment. There's never a better time to listen to the divine. You know when it's time for you to go.
And then bringing your attention more to your belly, allowing your active breath to release, and bringing just 3 rounds of a big breath in through your mouth, all the way down into your belly, and then letting it out. And then transferring the breath back to your nose, taking 3 rounds of deep inhales, as much breath as you can bring in through your nose all the way down to your belly, almost imagining that you can breathe all the way down to your feet, your toes, filling your body with this beautiful air. And letting that go, softening, allowing your bones to become heavier. And for a few minutes of silence, allowing everything to integrate, your cells to talk to each other and come back into balance. If you're lying down, staying in Shavasana. If you're sitting up, maybe giving your shoulders a roll, your neck and your head a little bit of a circle around the top of your spine, stretching into your body a little bit, whether you're lying down or sitting up, and then softening into stillness. Being with the sensation in your body, and maybe revisiting that seed that started to grow, the kidney bean that grew, and allowing yourself to receive any wisdom, any insights from and of this offering that you have for the world, what you're growing, what you're offering, what you're cultivating. And welcoming in more of that support that Hannah guided us into earlier. Feeling the support of the floor underneath you if you're lying down. Really allowing yourself to receive it. Feeling the support of the earth, the chair that you're sitting in. Really softening and receiving it. And then deepening your breath one more time, really bringing in as much air as you can, stretching into your body. Maybe you want to raise your arms over your head. And if you're lying down, slowly coming to roll on your side and curling up into a little pod or seed before you use your hands to lift yourself up back to seated to rejoin us. And I'd love to hear also how the experience was for you. And I'm turning over to Hannah. Back to you. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you so much, Shanti. That was gorgeous. Yeah, really reminds me how powerful our breath is, and how how incredible it is to be breathed. We're not even making an effort to breathe, but when we really bring our attention to it and oxygenate our cells and really engage our spirit in being fully in our body using the breath, it's profound. So yeah, thank you so much for sharing that and sharing your beautiful gifts. And it's so lovely to have you with me today, to have you with us. And I'm really glad to be able to to bring in people like you who really have a gift for supporting others, and to bring us together to share. That's what it's all about, connection, sharing love.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to end the recording here. And thank you so much, Shanti. Thank you to everybody for listening, for showing up for life, showing up for living this beautiful life as fully as we can. And I will see you soon. Much love.